I can only tell you in words what I've felt. An atmosphere thick with humidity, the heat of the sun clashing with the cool of the wind against my face. I can merely describe what I've seen. A sky flaunting tints of red, puffy clouds draped over the horizon like newly woven tapestries. I can simply convey through speech what I've heard. The commotion of traffic, the laugh of children selling plantains on the street corner, the bustle of the marketplace, and the chatter of little tree creatures awakening in the night. This is Africa, a place that stirs, that breathes, that declares. And though I speak about Africa, Africa has spoken ever so much more to me. It has taught me to pay attention to more than just what I say, but to realize what is actually heard. I grew up in the little country of Ivory Coast with my parents and older brother. Instead of hearing Bon Jovi on the radio or playing basketball in my driveway, I would hear the ancient dances of traditional African festivals across the street. I would play soccer with street kids with a pile of wrapped-up clothing as a ball. My mother had a piano, which she played almost every day. I would one day pick up on this and become a pianist myself. I learned about what it's like to be a woman who must truly carry the weight of an entire family. I learned what honor and respect looks like as a cultural object that is earned, and not given freely as a human right. I saw firsthand the subtle conflict between the older generations, bent on maintaining the way things had always been, and the fiery passion of young hearts seeking to become part of the metropolis, the economic jungle of the big cities, to be a cog in the machine, driving their country closer to catch up with the changing world outside. But when I was young, I wasn't thinking about these things. I didn't notice them, even though I saw them. I was bent on enjoying myself in the simple pleasures of being there, in the exoticness and ever-liveliness of life around me. The wildlife in the brush, the exciting dances and tribal occasions, and the vigor of a culture proud of its unique heritage, distinct from all other worlds from across the sea. But there's always more than one frame to the same picture, more focal points to the same looking glass. Although I'm starting a new life here in America, I can look back through the eyes of little me, the 15-year-old I once was, and re-see what I once saw. My town of Bobo Dioulasso has re-shown me that stories are told in ways beyond mere words or pictures. Stories are told through faces, through voices, through lives. Because these are the things we remember to in turn share ourselves. So what do the old man's eyes tell? They tell a story of the oppression of times past, the fear of rapidly changing times, as a place once untainted by the outside now rushes to catch up with the modern world. What is heard in the commotion of teenagers on the street? We hear an unconscious cry to rise above customs and reach for the bright lights of money and job-driven economic and political infrastructures. We hear of a hope to strive beyond what the youth sees in Africa now, to find something greater and brighter and more like what the future could be. What does the laugh of the women say? It speaks to the power they cherish as the true heads of their households, the icon of a future where education is not reserved for the men. Their flowing dresses of many colors sing descriptively to the dynamo and liveliness of these fantasy-like cultures. What does the motion of countless creatures assert? It asserts this is a place that will never truly be tamed. Its wildness will fight to stay wild. Nature's desire for life will fight as strongly as a living being's own desire to live. and persist and triumph. Things produced on computer screens are not real multimedia. Real multimedia is experience itself, the taste and touch and sense and smell and thought and desire within every moment, every breath of our consciousness. And so it is with the breath of Africa, the place that will change, but will somehow never conform either. Bobo Dioulasso will always know my name. I feel at peace here. I have fond memories here. I found the truth here, that life is raw, and we're here to survive life's odds and find enjoyment in that rawness. Like the stars over the savannah, all things connect. The earth connects to its people, and its people connect to each other. And although change is inevitable between generations, the generations hold tight, because they know nothing can ever become disconnected. Yes, Africa knows my name, and I know it as well. And I am confident that, however fast it embraces globalization and evolution, there will never come a day when it knows my name no longer. Whatever it is in your life, you would consider your place. Think beyond what it's spoken to you. Think about what it still speaks, and how you can help it speak to countless listeners to come. This is the power of a place. While it's always yours, the true volume of its voice is realized when it becomes everyone's.